Well, I know it can be cheesy to say, but last but not least is the Power Platform. Now, I don't want to dive too far into this, but as always, I do like to mention it because I don't find it's always evident how the Dynamics 365 applications are kind of or essentially part of the Power Platform. You hear the Power Platform term, you hear Power Apps, it really encompasses a lot. But of course, the Power Platform has even more to offer for those who may not have or don't even require Dynamics 365 applications. So it can be its own standalone product within. So the following will be kind of similar to part one, where I ended with some honorable mentions that if you use or are interested in, your organization is interested in, there's actually a completely separate document and online content or online page dedicated for this release Wave 2 plan and this specific product. If you've already read through the super duper exciting 500 plus page Dynamics release plan, have no fear. You can still get another 100 or so pages to quench your knowledge thirst in the Power Platform release document. So there's actually two separate release Wave documents as well as online pages or sources related to this. And if you did read through the Dynamics release plan, kudos to you. There's a lot of information there because of the amount of applications. But if you haven't yet and you didn't see part one of the release Wave 2 sessions here, I certainly recommend going back to part one. Okay, so the Power Platform and of course digital transformation, they just go hand in hand. It's a term you have no doubt heard over the past few years, is just organizations going through digital transformation. Well, I mentioned Dynamics 365 is basically a part of this. The specific products within that make up the Power Platform would be Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. For those within the Dynamics 365 workspace, Power Automate is certainly something that's no doubt on your radar, as that's been replacing the workflow processes that we've been so used to. You'll often, if you're trying to build any new processes, if you're trying to build any workflows within that process section, you often get that bar in the ribbon that recommends moving over to Power Automate, because that is where those automation pieces are moving. A couple of add-ons too, I just want to make you aware of if you ever are looking within the Power Platform. It also includes the AI Builder and Power Apps Portal. So those are kind of within this Power Platform here as add-ons. The bulk of the updates are related to Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate, but I think that's really just because of the nature of the product. But Power Virtual Agents have really been coming along, and the AI-powered bots are quite something to interact with and configure. So I'm suggesting you check that out if that is of interest to your organization. So I'm not going to go too much into the details because, to be honest, all four, but specifically the top three here, making up the bulk of the Release Wave 2 plan, has quite a bit within each, especially Power BI and Power Automate, I will say. Because Power BI, there's Power BI Desktop, there's other data related and access points within there. There are updates within each of those platforms of Power BI. So if that is something that your organization uses, the updates will probably be more related to different user roles. So, those who set up the dashboards, those who deal with the data, those who maybe just ingest it. The updates within Power BI, depending on the role that you play and how you use Power BI, the updates coming or that have come just the past few months will be catered more towards each role. So I won't be going into each one of those, but really just trying to bring light to the fact that the Power Platform what it entails, but also the fact that it is its own release wave plan document. And it does kind of go hand in hand with some of the Dynamics 365 updates that we often focus on as a company.